So hello everyone. So again, my name is Tziporah. I live in Har Zaitim. Do you know the Jews live there? Yes. I live in the entrance of the Jewish cemetery of Har Zaitim in an old ancient Arab house, about 200 years old. And it's a part of the Jewish settlement of East Jerusalem. So I live in the entrance of an Arab neighborhood in the name of Ras El Amud. Have you heard about it? Okay. And overlooking across the street is the biggest Jewish neighborhood. It's called Ma'aleh HaZeitim. So Ma'aleh HaZeitim and Ma'alot David, these are two neighborhoods opposite. They have about 140 families, and that's the biggest Jewish neighborhood in East Jerusalem, because you have a lot of parts, the Jews that live, like in Silwan and in Abu Tol and in Abu Dis and Sheikh Jarrah and all these Arab neighborhoods. The Jews chose to live over there. And why? Because we believe Yerushalayim, all Yerushalayim is ours, not only the west part, but also the east. And it's very special to be a part of this, a part of the Jews that came with an ideology to live over there. And the second reason is what I see from my house. The second reason to why I chose to live there is what I see from my bedroom and what I see from my kitchen. I see Har Beit. I see the holiest, the Temple Mount, the holiest mountain in the world. I see the place of Kodesh HaKodeshim every day. So when I stand in the kitchen, and that's a lot, when I wash dishes, prepare lunch, supper. So when I look out of my kitchen, I see Har Beit. And when I open my windows in the bedroom, this is what I see. This is my view. So it's very, very special. It's a big, big zchut. I was born in Israel, but my parents made Aliyah. They made it in 1970, many years ago. And I think, so they came from the States, and I still speak with my mother, this in English, but I think it's a very big zchut that we have the privilege of living in such a holy place. And what Zmira just mentioned, that I'm also a part of a group of women that's called Nashim Leman Hamikdash, that we learn about Beit Hamikdash. We have a group of women that once a week we meet on Mondays, and just every single week we learn topics of Beit Hamikdash. You could say, whoa, was there a whole year to learn? But yes, about how were the holidays in Beit Hamikdash, what is the women's part in Beit Hamikdash, and many stuff. And I specifically also go up to Har Beit with my family and without. That's a different topic, but that's also not only to learn about the topic, but to be actually in the place itself. So that's a few, and also I give tours, like I said, tours in Har Zaitim and overlooking Har Beit and different kind of things like that, and bat mitzvah tours. Just one thing before we start, my sister and we wrote this book, a bat mitzvah book for mothers and girls. I brought the English edition, we have the Hebrew one, and it's called Pirkei Hallel. My sister is Rina Ariel. She's my sister, yeah. So we wrote it for mothers and bat mitzvah girls. We have Hebrew and English, for like once after. Okay, so what are we going to do today? So we're just before like 4 parashot, even 5, that deal with the top of the Mishkan. So we're going to today talk about a little bit the kelim, okay? All this is so famous, everybody knows. We're going to read now in Terumah and Tetzaveh about the kelim. The Tetzaveh, it deals about the clothing, the garments. But we're going to talk about the kelim and what's missing today in the world. The fact that we don't have the Shulchan Lechem Hapanim, we don't have the menorah. So what's missing in the world? Okay, so you're welcome. Okay, do we have, let's see, no film? We have a film. No, okay. So this is the picture of Beit Hamikdash. Even though that we're going to deal with a kelim, and we're talking about these parashot about the Mishkan, but because the same kelim in the Mishkan are also in Beit Rishon and Beit Sheni, so just want to get an overlook on the second Beit Hamikdash, so we all know, the general structure of the Beit Sheni, and then we'll get into the kelim. So first of all, when I ask, where are all the golden kelim? Where are they kept? Where are they? So they're inside the Heichal. Okay, this is the main building, the Heichal. that was divided to two, the Kodesh and the Kodesh HaKodeshim. Okay, so in the Kodesh itself, we have the three golden kelim. We have the menorah, the shulchan lechem b'panim, and the mizbeach haktoret. And inside, in Kodesh HaKodeshim itself, so in Beit Sheni, it was an empty room. Why was it empty? Because there was no Aron Brit, okay? The Aron Brit that we know that was in the Kodesh HaKodeshim was hidden at the end of Beit Rishon, okay? By Yoshiyahu, the king Yoshiyahu. So in all the time of Beit Sheni, when it stood over there, the second temple, for 420 years, the Kodesh HaKodeshim was empty. And exactly in today, in this spot, okay, the holiest spot, what do we have today in Har Beit? We have the Dome on the Rock. Okay, exactly in the same spot. The Dome of the Rock is over here. It's called the Dome of the Rock because it's sitting on the rock, okay, on the Even HaShtiyah, the foundation stone. So when we talk about Beit HaMikdash, we're dealing with three Azarot. We have Ezrat Hanashim, Ezrat Israel, and Ezrat Kohanim. So what is the Ezrat Nashim, the women's section, is over here. First of all, always when I enter Beit HaMikdash, I enter from east to west. I'm always facing, my face is facing west because the holiest place is called Shechina B'Ma'arav. Okay, Shechina B'Ma'arav, the holiest place is the western place. So I go in the eastern gate, okay, as the gate of the Shar of Ezrat Nashim, and this is the first courtyard that is called Ezrat Hanashim. Today we have in Shul Ezrat Nashim. In Shul, it's only meant for women, right? We don't have any men walking in Ezrat Nashim. But at the time in the Beit HaMikdash, it was meant also for men and also for women. Okay, this section over here, this courtyard over here, everyone that wanted to come and just daven in Beit HaMikdash, not to bring a korban, a sacrifice, that was already in Ezrat Kohanim, so you came over here in Ezrat Nashim. You want to daven, so you come over here. So it was meant for women and men as well. We don't have evidence, we don't know about a mechita that was in those days. We do know, and specifically on Sukkot. Okay, Sukkot, when we had in this courtyard over here in Ezrat Hanashim, we had the Simchat Bet HaShoivah, so then there was a separation between the men and the women. Then the women went up to the second floor, and then men stayed on the bottom. But that was only once a year, okay, for 7 days during Sukkot. But an ordinary day, regular day that you come into Beit HaMikdash, the women and the men were here. Yeah.
Just for reference, where would the Kotel HaMa'aravi be?
Okay. The Kotel, that's a good question. The Kotel HaMa'aravi is the western wall. So if you look at the Beit HaMikdash behind, so someone's phone over here, probably Zmira's, I don't know. So you see the wall over here, yes, behind the Kodesh HaKodeshim? Yes. That's the Kotel HaMa'aravi, okay? That's the western wall.
Wait a second.
But this is like, it's hard to see from here.
The Kotel HaMa'aravi, the Golden Dome is on the other side of it.
Right, so first of all, when we stand at the Kotel, we're facing east, okay? Why do we daven over there in the Kotel? Because from my house, I see another Kotel. I see the eastern wall. I don't see the western wall. I see the eastern wall. I don't see anyone davening over there. Have you ever davened in the eastern wall of Har Beit?
It's a cemetery.
Okay, today it's a cemetery, a Muslim cemetery, because, okay, so people don't want to daven. But it's very interesting. It's a very special kotel. Another week I'm going to give a tour.
You face the other way when you daven, right?
Okay, so it's very interesting about the face. So when we daven the Kotel HaMa'aravi, the western wall, we're standing over here and we're facing west, east. We're facing exactly the opposite direction that they used to daven in Beit HaMikdash. Because when one went into Beit HaMikdash, came to here, and they used to face west, okay? So that's why it's so special. This picture is, okay, you can't see, but when I'm in Har Zeitim and I want to daven, so I'm davening Har Zeitim in the east. It's east to Har Beit. So when I daven over there, I'm facing the same direction as they used to daven in Beit HaMikdash. Whoever stands in the eastern wall, in the eastern wall, he davens the same direction like they used to daven in Beit HaMikdash. That's why I think we should start davening over there. Okay, so just wipe out the cemetery. Yeah. A very good question. Why is it called Ezrat HaNashim? It's also meant also for men, because this was a section, so up till here the women used to be like in ordinary day they didn't pass these gates. These are Sha'arei Nikano. They didn't pass to Ezrat Kohanim. So they up till here the women used to go. But special occasions when a woman used to bring her korban, her sacrifice, she had a gate over here. Okay, this is north. Directions, okay. This is north. Okay, this is north part of the Beit Hamikdash. Okay, this is west. So there was a special gate over here. They used to call Shar Hanashim. So the women used to come from here, and she should stand near the mizbeach. So then when she bought her korban chatat, for example, she was obligated. She had the opportunity to go in Ezrat Kohanim. So I'm going back. We have Ezrat HaNashim. We have Ezrat Israel. You can't see it, but it's just behind these gates. Okay, it's a very narrow area over here behind. And the main area of Beit HaMikdash is Ezrat Kohanim, where you have the Mizbeach. Okay, that's the center. Yeah. But they did go in Ezrat Kohanim, only because we have a halacha, that's one that brings a sacrifice of the korban. They have to stand. En adam avit korbano ela im umed al gabav. That's how Chazal say, when he stands, he has to stand over his korban, near his korban. So that's why the women used to go inside here in Ezrat Kohanim only when they brought a korban. But women that wanted to just daven, like we see a lot of women in the kotel, so you stand over here in Ezrat HaNashim. Okay, let's continue. Now these are the kelim that we're going to deal today. Okay, in Hebrew, right? Okay, we're starting from, the truth is, okay, we have these kelim. Okay, we have the Aron HaBrit, the menorah, the Mizbach HaKtoret, the Shulchan Lechem HaPanim, the Kiyah, and the Mizbach HaOlah. So first of all, we have to divide between the materials. What were made out of gold and what were made out of copper. Okay, so the inner kelim that were in the Hichal were made out of gold. So this is the Aron, the menorah, the Mizbach HaKtoret, and the Shulchan Lechem HaPanim. We have two, okay? We have two Mizbachot. One is for Ketoret that was made out of wood, plated with gold, and these two other kelim, what were they made from? The kiyah, what was it made from? What material? From copper. What? Okay, from copper. And the Mizbach HaOlah, okay, that's the main Mizbach that stood in Beit HaMikdash. What was it made out of? What do we know? It's a tricky question, because in the time of the Mishkan, we're going to read it. That's a Beit, that was in the time of Beit HaMikdash. But in the time of the Mishkan, it says Mizbach HaNechoshet. Okay, it's made out of copper. That's in the time of the Mishkan. But when they came to Beit HaMikdash, they built it and they made it from stone, and they just, it wasn't plated. It was like, they painted it, okay? White, but it was stone. But let's start seeing each one of these kelim. So, the first one, okay. So the first kli that I want to deal with, okay, the picture, is the big mizbeach, okay? The altar is standing in the center. It's hard to see over here. We're going to see, I have a better picture. This area is called Bet HaMitbachaim. What's Bet HaMitbachaim? Near the mizbeach, there was an area they used to shecht all the animals over there, okay? So we have over here, like, rings on the floor that used to tie the sheep or the goats or the cows or whatever. And over there we had these tables, and they used to shecht over there the animals, and then used to bring them on the mizbeach. Okay. Now, an ordinary day, what do they do? Let's see. We have over here. Do I have a better picture? Did I bring a better picture? Okay. So first of all, we see over here every single day. 365 days a year, we bring two korbanot. One in the morning is Talmid Shel Shachar, early in the morning, sunrise. and one in the afternoon, tamid shel ben arbaim. Okay, this is called korban tzibur. It's not a personal korban, a sacrifice, because it was bought from each one, from our money. Each one gave the machatzita sheker. That's where we're going to soon. Okay, soon we're going to start reading Parashat Shkalim. So a month before the month of Nisan, they used to start collecting this money, and with the money of the machatzita sheker, they used to buy these korbanot. They need every single day one sheep in the morning, one sheep afternoon. Okay, so when we talk about the korbanot, we divide them into korban tzibur and korban yachid. Yachid is a personal korban. I buy it for my money. For example, let's say I gave birth and I want to bring a korban yoledet. Okay, so I'm going to go and buy and spend my money and buy this korban yoledet. But korban tzibur, we have korban tamid, one in the morning, one late afternoon. Now over here, we see the Kohanim. This is like an ordinary day in the Beit Hamikdash. That, what do we see? Okay, so first of all, the Mizbeach, we have different sizes between the Mishkan and Beit Hamikdash, the first Beit Rishon and Beit Sheni. So this, what we see over here, is the altar on the second temple. Okay, now it's easy. How do we remember the size? Because what's the size of the Mizbeach? Just to see, it's really very, very big. Is Lev Amma. What's Lamed Bet Amot? 32 Amot. Okay, an Amma, this is an Amma. Okay, in meters, it's about 16 meters over 16 meters. In feet, I don't know exactly, but it's like really very, I would like check, because let's say one of my steps is a meter. It's like, okay, it's very, very big. This is the Mizbeach and Beit Sheni. And what do they have on it? Okay, so we have three different, what's called ma'arachot. Ma'aracha is a pile of trees, of logs of trees. And what do? One, this is called the Ma'aracha Hagdola, the big one, because on this they used to burn all the korbanot, only on this one, okay? If it could be Tamid Shel Shachar, it could be a special korban that they used to bring on Rosh Chodesh, like we're going to have Friday. On Shabbos, they have a special korban. All the korbanot of Shabbat, they bring on here. The korbanot of the Chagim, okay? All of this was done on this ma'aracha. The second, this is the word, when I say the word ma'aracha, that's the term of Chazal. Okay, the second is the ma'aracha of the Ketoret. Okay, what do you mean? Why is it called the Ketoret? The Ketoret, we know we have two altars, okay, Beit Hamikdash, two mizbechot. One is this one for the animals, and the second one is for the Ketoret. That was made out of wood, plated with gold. That's inside the heichal. So what was done over here? Over here, they used to take the ashes from this mizbeach, from this ma'aracha, from this pile, with like a kind of a shovel. Take the burning ashes from this. They used to enter, the Kohen used to enter the heichal, pour the burning ashes, and on that put the spices of the ketore, the 11 spices. So we have a connection between this mizbeach and the inner mizbeach. And first of all, what's the connection? It's nice to see that this mizbeach you bring on it animals. So this, if we talk about the Beit Hamikdash is a place of tikkun, so this is the tikkun of the body, of the guf, of the chomer, of the physical. But the mizbeach ketoret, that's opposed to, you bring it the ketoret is the incense. There's for the neshama, like we have the besamim on Motzei Shabbos. So that's the tikkun of the neshama. So these two mizbachot, one is the tikkun of the guf, of the body, of the physical, of the chomer, and another one is the neshama. So that's how we take these ashes from this place, what's called ma'aracha of the ketoret, okay? Now the last one is esh hatamid. Esh hatamid, like we have in every shul, we have like this esh hatamid, okay, this candle, esh hatamid tichbe. What do you do on this? Nothing. It's only, this is a significant, that the significance of this is the Shekhinah is always in Beit HaMikdash. Esh tamid tukad al hamizbeach lo tichbe. The Kohanim used to make sure all the time that this should be burning all the time. Okay, this was a symbol of the Shekhinah that exists in Beit HaMikdash. Okay, so this is the Ma'aracha Hagdolah, the big one, the Ketoret, and the Eshet Tamid. These are three malachot. Now, what's in the middle over here? In the middle, we have a pile of burning ashes. The Chazal call it the tapuach. Tapuach is an apple. So why do they call it an apple? Because it had like a kind of a round, round shape. And this was all the burning ashes. I mean, all the, burning ashes from all the sacrifices from all day. They used, at the end of every day, they used to put in this pile. And at the end, after it was a very big pile, they used to take it out of Yerushalayim. This was called the Deshen, Terumah Deshen. Now, Chazal call this Noyo Shel Mizbeach. What's Noy? The beauty of the Mizbeach. Now, what's so pretty about a pile of ashes? It's not so pretty, like you make barbecue and what's left over. It means that people came and brought korbanot. Okay, people are coming to Beit HaMikdash, bringing their korbanot. So this korbanot is from the word kilva, from closeness. People want to get close to the Kadosh Baruch Hu. That's why Chazal called the tapuach the beauty of the Mizbeach. Okay? Now, where we see other stuff, for example, this Kohen is going to do now the mitzvah of Nisuch Hayayin. It was done during every day, every day, twice a day, during Tamid Shel Shachar and Tamid Shel Ben Arbaim. So he's holding a pitcher, and inside we have wine, wine. And every day during the sacrifice of the Tamid Shel Shachar, the Kohen used to pour wine, and the wine went underground. It was under the ground, under the Mizbeach. There were underground tunnels that were called the Shitin. Shitin is like the foundations, the underground tunnels. Up till today, there's underground tunnels underneath Har Beit, under the El-Aqsa Mosque, and the Dome of the Rock, whatever. So this mitzvah was done every day. Nisuch Hayayin. And once a year, we also added the mitzvah of Nisuch Hamayim. On when? On Sukkot. Not only on 7 days a week. Okay, 7 days of the whole Sukkot. So then it was Nisuch Hayayin and Nisuch Hamayim together. Yeah. What was it? Okay, so we have two things that are called the Shitin. One is called Even Hashtiyah, the foundation stone. And one is the Shitin, these underground tunnels underneath the Mizbeach, okay? So it's interesting, when we look at the word, the first pasuk in the Torah, it says, Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim et haaretz. So if you look at the first word, Bereshit, what does Chazal say? I could split the word into two, and instead of Bereshit, in Hebrew, it's in the beginning, right? But Chazal say, I could split it into two and say, bara shit. The Kadosh Baruch Hu made the shit. Shit is the underground. It's not like we say in English, okay? Shit. But shit is underground tunnels. So these shitin were created in the beginning of the creation of the world. So when we do the avodah, the Kohanim do the avodah of the korbanot, and they pour this wine, it goes into down underneath, and it gets connected to the place that the world was created from. So we see over here the connection between our avodah and the avodah of the Kadosh Baruch Hu together. Okay, it's a combination of these two. So this is the Nisuch Hayayin, and over here we see the Kohanim they took each sheep and they slaughtered it, and each one got a different part of the sheep. One got a foot, one got a head, one got a leg, and they used to put it on the Mizbeach and burn it, okay? But this I'm only talking about one individual sacrifice, the Tamid, because you have other korbanot, like Korban Shlamim, and that's was divided. It was part of it was eaten by the owners, okay, and part was on the mizbeach, and part was given to the kohanim. Okay, so this is the mizbeach over here, the altar, and this near.
Who was the guy with the big basket?
Okay, so this is a mincha. Okay, so every korban needs to have together with it. It's called the nesachim. What's nesachim? We say it every day. We say it on the musaf. Nesachim is huh?
Nasich is a prince.
Yeah, Nasich is a prince, but over here, Nesachim, Nun Samech Chaf Yud Mem. Nesachim, it's something that you add together with a korban. You take wheat, it's fine wheat, very, very, very fine wheat. It's called solet, okay? Today we say solet. In English, today is, what's solet today? Buckwheat? No, not buckwheat. Farina, but this is like very thick wheat. And the chazal is like fine wheat. You mix it together with olive oil, and every korban has wine, solet is wheat, and the wheat mixed with the olive oil. This is called the nesachim of the mizbeach, of the korban. Okay, this is another. Okay, now we still there, and they have to deal. The kohanim over here go, and this is one of the korban. These are one of the kelim. We can see we have a lot of kelim for the korbanot. For example, he's taking over here. What's this? This is the first. It's called Terumat Hadeshen. What's Terumat Hadeshen? So this is the first thing that we do in Beit Hamikdash, that the first Kohen, he goes up and he takes the burning ashes from the Mizbeach and he puts them, okay, he's taking it and he throws them in like to a small pit near the Mizbeach, okay? This is called Terumat Hadeshen, taking up the burning ashes from last night, from the night before, and then you do then you bring the korban. Okay, let's continue. This doesn't look good. Now, wanted to deal with the second kli. Whoa, that took a long. Okay, the second kli is, let me skip a little bit, is the kiyol over here, the kiyol that was meant for, what was it meant for? Washing hands and feet, okay? So before today, we wash our hands. So when the kohanim, before every avodah, they used to take their right hand and their right foot, left hand and left foot, and wash their feet and hands before them working. So there we see it was made out of copper. This was made in the Temple Institute in the Old City. This is a small kiyol. And then over here, we can see a very big one. I heard a lecture from the Rav and his family that build this kiyol. You call it Rav Buchbut. Okay, there are two brothers that we see over here. No, okay. The Rav Israel Ariel, the head of the Temple Institute in the Old City, came to them and told this family, Buchbut, they had a kind of a workshop, and he told them, listen, I want to build, Rav Ariel said, I want to build a new kiyol, not a small one, but a new one that could fit for many, many kohanim. So he told them, he gave them instructions and this and that, and they said it took them, how many years did he say? More than 5 years just to collect the money and everything. And then they built this kiyol from copper that today it's standing in the Temple Institute. Have you been there? In the Old City, okay? So, and this is inside the kiyol, they made this way of, you could put over your water, and outside there's a kind of a faucet that each kohen, you have, I think, 12 kohanim that could wash their hands and feet together on the same time. So this is the kiyol. Now, let's go inside, okay? Let's go inside the heichal. And in the heichal, the inner part of the Beit Hamikdash, the place where only the kohanim were let to be there, we have the three main kelim. We have on the right over here is the shulchan. On the left is the menorah, and in the middle is the mizbach haktoret. I say right and left, it's not exactly correct, because this is north, okay? The shulchan must stand in the north. The menorah must stand in the south, okay? And in the center is the mizbach. Okay, so let's see because why is it so important? Because it says, harotze leha'ashir yatzpin, harotze lehachkim yadrim, shesimanach, shulchan batzafon, menorah badaron. These two kelim are a symbol of the blessing. The blessing of the shulchan is the blessing of the prosperity. The shulchan, mimeno mishtalachat habracha. That's what it's called, shulchan. From here, the bracha for each individual home was blessed. Okay, table, okay, individual table. Our food and everything was blessed from the shulchan lechem panim. So this was a blessing of prosperity, of richness. But the menorah is a symbol of wisdom. Harotze lehachkim, if you want to get knowledge, wisdom, Torah, go to the south. Why? Because the menorah stood in the southern part of the Heichal. Harotze lehachkim yadrim. Why the menorah? So let's see each one of these kelim, okay? The first one is shulchan lechem panim. What was it made out of from? What is it made out of? Okay? The shulchan, huh?
Bronze?
No. All the kelim that are inside the heichal, all of them are for gold. That's okay, everything was outside, it's either from silver or for bronze, but this was made out of gold. It was wood plated with gold. So what do we see? The shulchan itself, it's this part over here in the bottom, and over here in the top, we have the 12 loaves of bread. When you're looking now, this is not a tray, but the lechem apanim, okay, had this kind of shape, okay? This is the bread itself. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in one row, and another 6, total of 12 loaves of bread. Now, if we said the mizbeach we had every single day they used to bring the korbanot, the shulchan lechem apanim, they used to switch the breads once a week on Shabbos. So the special bakery at Beit Hamikdash was called Lishkat Osei Lechem Apanim. That was the name. It was in a big building that was called Beit HaMoked. Beit HaMoked is something very, very big in the north part of Beit Hamikdash, and was divided into a few sections. One of the sections was a bakery. Okay, a bakery. And now every Friday, like I bake chalot, okay, I or my kids or whatever on Friday. So that's what the Kohanim used to bake their chalot, these chalot on Friday. There was a family in charge of the lechem apanim, and the name of Bet Garmo. That was their name. And they used to bake this bread on Friday. And then, what did they do with it? They baked 12 loaves of bread on Friday, not on Shabbos. They took these 12 loaves of bread, and meanwhile, they went, in the Heichal, there was a kind of a ulam, that was like the entrance. There was a special table made out of marble, and they used to put it on Friday, over there, these 12 loaves of bread, till Shabbat, okay? What's going to happen on Shabbat? So Shabbat, we have the Kohanim coming inside, taking the old loaves of bread that stood there, and putting new loaves of bread. Right? And putting new loaves of bread. And how old were the old loaves of bread? A week? Even more, how many days exactly? 9 days. How did I get to 9? Because they were baked on Friday. So Friday, Shabbat, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Shabbat, okay? So 9 days, okay, from last Friday, they baked them and they ate them. What did they do? They divided them among the Kohanim that worked that Shabbat in Beit HaMikdash. Okay? Because we had what's called Mishmarot Kehuna. So that was his shift, okay? That was his mishmeret, his shift to work. They were divided, and we know they were fresh and hot, like they just went out of the oven. Okay? And you don't need to eat a lot, you just need a kazayit, and you're ready. The Kohanim were full. And then there's a halakha that the table must never be empty. Always, because that's the source of the blessing. Like we say Shabbat, we say on the Chadodi, on Shabbat we say Kihi Mekor HaBracha. Okay, the Shabbat is blessed, it blesses all the week. So the Shulchan blesses our individual tables. So that's why you must never be empty. So the Kohanim, they take off the loaves of bread, the 12 loaves of bread, immediately the new Kohanim put the new loaves of bread. Okay? And that was done on Shabbat, every Shabbat. Now, something very interesting, after they took these 12 loaves of bread, before they wanted to divide them among all the Kohanim, but before they divided them, they took them off and they wanted to put them someplace. But they can't put them, they can't put it on any table. They made a special golden table that they took these loaves of bread, the lechem hapanim, put it on another golden table, and then they divided it to the Kohanim. And what did they learn from this? Ma'alin b'kodesh ve'en moridim. What do we know this halakha from? Ma'alin b'kodesh ve'en moridim from? Chanukah. Chanukah, we know that the halakha, like we go according to Bet Hillel, the first night we light the one candle, second then. Why? Ma'alin b'kodesh. Every time we want to raise the kedusha, not less. Not like Bet Shammai is 8-7. And another halakha is we learn from this shulchan. The minute that lechem hapanim, this loaves of bread, were on the holiest table that was made out of gold, we can't just move them to just a different table. They made a special other table from gold, and then they used to divide all the kohanim. That's what we learned. Ba'alin b'kodesh, you have to from gold to gold, not gold to silver, gold to wood, gold to anything. Okay, so this was the lechem hapanim, and we could see what I described before. I described the kohanim coming. These are the loaves of bread. Okay, the loaves of bread. They're bringing the new loaves of bread. They're going to take them off and put new ones. They were quite heavy breads. Okay, they weren't. One time we were learning and we were checking how the kilo, whatever the amount. They were very heavy. It also says in the Mishnah, there's a special perek in Masechet Menachot that describes the way that what wheat they used to use for them, how they used to shift. They used to shift them with 11 sifters, 11 sifters, okay? The bread, not the bread, the wheat. And it says also describes the size of it, okay? The length of lechem hapanim. What would you think? Small, big? It's like you could think of like these challahs of a wedding. Okay, so the Mishnah says it was 10 tefachim. What's a tefach? This is a tefach, okay? So the size of 10 tefachim is about less than a meter, like something like this. This was the length of the lechem hapanim. It also describes the width and the height exactly in the Mishnah of Menachot. Okay, so this is Shulchan lechem hapanim. We see how the two kohanim we are going with incense. It's called levona. Okay, together with lechem hapanim, you must put this. This is one of the spices of the ketoret. Was put together with lechem hapanim. And today we don't have we said the word shulchan in Hebrew, shemimeno habracha mishtalachat. Mishtalachat is spread to all the world, all our individual tables. Okay, so this is the shulchan lechem hapanim. Another second kli is in the middle is the mizbeach. Mizbach. We have a few names. Either you could call it mizbach haktoret, okay, because on this you bring the ketoret, or the golden one, or the mizbeach hapnimi, the inner, because we have two mizbachot, one outside and one inside. So what was this made from? This mizbeach? Gold, but it was plated. It was wood plated with gold. Right? And this was very, very special. Why? Let's see. Over here, this avodah was done twice a day. While the Kohanim were bringing the Korban HaTamid, other Kohanim, they won the lottery. There was a special lottery in Beit Hamikdash. It's called, the Mishnah, the Chazal called the Pais. So there was a very Pais, what did they do? The Kohanim, they stood them in a round circle, like in a circle, and now they said, we're doing now a lottery. Who's going to light the menorah? Who's going to bring today the ketoret? Who's going to bring the korban atamid? There were, different kind of, but everyone wanted to have the zchut of bringing the ketoret, because it was something very, very special, because it says whoever brought the ketoret got a special bracha. Also parnasa, also with his kids, everything. This is learned from the bracha of Levi, Yasimu ketorah be'apecha, v'chalil al mizbechecha. This is Moshe Rabbeinu, when he blessed all his sons, he blessed Levi, and it says, Berech Hashem chelo. The word bracha is mentioned in the word in the Shevet Levi. So that's why only in this Pais lottery they announced Chadashim laketoret bo v'hafisu. I'm saying the words of the Mishnah in Masechet Tamid. What's Chadashim laketoret? Who is going to now bring the ketoret? Only the Kohanim that never brought the ketoret in their life. Okay, because they wanted to give opportunity to every Kohen to bring the ketoret, because he gets so much blessing. Okay, so what do we see? We see over the Mizbeach, this Kohen over here, he was the one that put the burning ashes from, we saw before, from the ma'aracha of the Ketoret on the big Mizbeach. He put the ashes, and then over here, this was a special golden vessel, kli, that they used to take out over here, the 11 spices. 3 weeks ago, I heard a lecture. I told you we have a weekly shiur about the Beit Hamikdash, so I brought one. A young guy, he's doing his doctorate on the spices of the Ketoret, how to identify, because we read today in the davening, Pitum HaKetoret, Hatzeri, Hatziporah, and Hachel Bena, it says in the davening, like after Aleinu L'Shabbat, but how do we identify these spices? So whoever deals with it, and whoever wrote a whole book, is a professor from the Bar Ilan University, in the name of Professor Zohar Amar. I have his book, a whole book only on the Ketoret, about the different spices, and it was very interesting that these were very unique spices, very expensive spices. Okay, these Ketoret, and it has a special fragrance that we know that you just went into Yerushalayim. All Yerushalayim was full of the smell, the fragrance of the Ketoret. So this was done over here, is to pour every day, twice a day in Beit Hamikdash. Now we're getting to the menorah, okay? And that's the last kli. What's special about the menorah opposed to the two other kelim that I mentioned? Because we said what was made out of, the shulchan was made out of wood plated with gold. Huh?
Solid gold.
And this was solid gold. This was only gold, solid gold. Vasita menorah zahav tahor. We're gonna read this parasha. Kikar, it says in Parshat Terumah, this is close to the Shabbat. Kikar te'aseh hamenorah. It gives us exactly the amount of gold that we need to use with the menorah. Now, what's kikar? What's the amount of kikar zahav tahor? So in the Temple Institute, they did this, and they said that it's an amount of 42.5 kilo of gold. Okay, that's the amount. And they had a bit, when they wanted, wanted to build the kelim, the Temple Institute, so they built the different kelim, and with the menorah they had quite a difficulty. And it was difficult. Why? Because they took this amount of gold, and they just couldn't build it solid gold, because it's a kind of a soft metal, and like the branches of the menorah just couldn't hold themselves. So what did they do? What did they do? The menorah that's standing in the old city in the center, right? Everybody knows that menorah. It took 10 years to build it. Okay, 10 years till they got to this menorah. So it's a very nice film that you see. They build what was the material from bronze? I think it was. like a shape of the menorah from bronze, and then they took a kind of bathtub with liquid gold, and they put the menorah from bronze in this liquid gold, and through a process, slowly, it was plated, solid plated gold. It says miksha te'aseh menorah, and one solid. So this menorah, even though they have inside bronze, but it's kosher, but it's made out of solid gold, and it's kosher for Beit Hamikdash. Yeah.
But you said I thought it had to be all gold, so it have to be large things like that.
So look, also Moshe Rabbeinu, it says nitkasha Moshe. He didn't know how to build this menorah. So then there was a miracle. What was the miracle? The Kadosh Baruch Hu told him, take this kikar zav, throw it to the fire, and the menorah, whoop, te'aseh me'aleh, okay? So this was a miracle in the time of Moshe Rabbeinu. And so they say, according to the halacha, why? They learn it from the menorah of the Hashmonaim. In the Hashmonaim, then there were periods, the menorah wasn't from gold.
Right.
Wasn't for gold. The Rambam says that if you don't have the opportunity, you can make it from other materials, like you can make it from silver or from copper or whatever, not from other materials. You can't make a menorah from glass or from wood, I don't know. Okay, so what do they do with a menorah every day? So we have over here, first of all, we have 2 mitzvot. I'm looking at, we have another 4 minutes. Okay, so we'll do it a bit quick. The menorah, first of all, we had 2 mitzvot with the menorah. One is called hatavat ha-menorah. What does it mean? Every morning, the Kohen came, not the Kohen HaGadol, okay? Sometimes there's some mistake. You come with a gun, with a picture of the gun, kids from the gun, you see the Kohen HaGadol lighting in the menorah. No, every ordinary Kohen Hediot could light. And the first mitzvah was cleaning the candles, like we do in the Shabbos candles. So we clean the candle, we change the wicks, we change the olive, the oil, everything. That's done every single morning. That's called hatavat ha-menorah. But late afternoon, just before Shkia, so the Kohen came and he lit the menorah. And over here we have exactly the amount of oil that was used every single day. Do you know a bottle of Coke, okay, Coca-Cola? So it's today it's 1.5 liters, like you buy in every store. That's plus minus the amount of oil they used to light. Usually you use the menorah every single day. So like you took this was for lighting 7 candles. You took this and you used to pour to the small kili over here. And over here you had this was 3.5 log. Log is used to pour over here and light the menorah with 1.5 liters oil. And the menorah is a symbol of the Torah. Ner mitzvah v'Torah or. The Gaon Mivino talks about that we have 7 wisdoms that are connected, that we think they're not connected to menorah, but he talks about the chokhmah of the music, and the chokhmah of science, and the chokhmah of the lashon, the Hebrew, and whatever. Everything comes from this source, from the Torah. Okay, that's why these 7 branches are from the Torah. This menorah is with branches straight, but branches like we know Chabad. Okay, Chabad, when they light the Chanukiah, so this is the Lubavitcher Rebbe said that this is the shape of the menorah. But a lot of opinions say the menorah was, okay, with round branches. And this is the Shekhinah. Just want to mention one thing. The middle candle was called the Ner HaMa'aravi, the western candle. What does it mean? It was when OUisrael was going according to the Torah, the western candle, the Ner HaMa'aravi was lighting all the time. For example, Shimon HaTzadik, we know he was Shlosha Devarim Ha'olam Omed Al HaTorah Al Avodah Ve'Gminot Chasadim, Shimon HaTzadik from Perikei Avot. So during the time that he was a Kohen Gadol, 40 years, this middle candle was the western candle, the Ner HaMa'aravi, never burned off. It was lighting all the time. That was a sign of the Shekhinah. Okay, but 40 years before the destruction of Beit Sheni, of the second temple, so it says Ner HaMa'aravi Kava. It burned out, and that was and that was a sign for OUisrael. Something bad is going to happen. You must do teshuvah. So this is the menorah. Now, we're finishing. This is the last keli, the Aron Brit. Okay, the gold. This is the only keli, the only thing that in the Temple Institute they did not make, because we believe the Aron Brit. Where is it today? Where is the golden ark? It's hidden where? Huh? On the bottom, underneath the dome of the rock. What? Yoshiao, at the end of the first temple period, he hid it, and we believe it's underneath the underground tunnels, underneath the dome of the rock. So it still exists, okay? And this is what we see. The only time that we were able, the Kohen HaGadol he was the only man that could see the Aron Brit, and this we could see the Kohen HaGadol entering the Kodesh HaKodeshim on Yom Kippur. There's the only day, the holiest day, with the holiest man entering the holiest place with the Ketoret. And over here we see the Hamikdash of Shlomo HaMelech, because in Shlomo HaMelech we had the Aron Brit with the Kruvim, and we had another set of Kruvim that Shlomo HaMelech built. These very, very big ones, Kruvim, that were in Kodesh HaKodeshim. Okay, this is written in Melachim, okay? When Beit Sheni, when Yom Kippurim came, the Kohen HaGadol went inside to an empty room, like I mentioned before. There was no Aron, there were no Kruvim, there was nothing. It was only a stone, only the Even Hashtiyah. Now, well?
You also have the staff.
All right, so these three things are the three things that were near the Aron. One is the man, we have to finish. The man that we just read about, so it was near the Aron, and Shemen HaMishcha, what's called the Shemen HaMishcha, used to anoint the kelim, and this is what's called Mate Aaron, the story of Korach. So these three, this is also significant. Okay. So this is the last kli that we mentioned, and over here we see the Aliyah Regel of OUisrael going up to Beit Hamikdash, and 3 times a year, on Pesach, on Shavuot, and Sukkot, always so many people coming to come and hear the Levi'im and the Ketoret and bringing the Korbanot and seeing the Shekhinah, feeling the Shekhinah. But I want to finish now with the past, but with the present. And this is what we see today in the present. We do not see all the kelim that we mentioned. We do not see the kohanim working, and we don't see the korbanot. But I showed you in the beginning the heichal. The heichal stood exactly on this spot. So today our heart, the holiest place, is taken by our enemies. And instead of hearing the Levi'im, we hear Allahu Akbar. This is what we hear every single day. We have to hear twice a day the Shirat HaLevim, but we hear 5 times a day Allahu Akbar. And today there's no, like I mentioned, there's no Ketoret, no menorah, and this is what we see in Har Beit. And this is picture for one of the days of the Ramadan. Now the Ramadan is very, where you live, is very relevant, because this coming Rosh Chodesh Adar, Friday, Shabbat, it's going to start the month of the Ramadan. Now, I don't know if whoever lives in Katamon, Rechaviat really feels it, but I feel it very much. First of all, this is what happens in the Ramadan every single Friday and every night, okay? Every night. And look, where are they praying to?
That's what we say. It's a Mecca.
They're praying to Mecca, okay? That's their holiest spot. And then in Yecheskel, it says, Ve'achorem elechal Hashem. When he came and he saw OUisrael working on Avodah Zarah, so they were turning their back to the Kodesh HaKodeshim. And this is where the Arabs, they're davening to Saudi Arabia, to Mecca, Medina, and we, doesn't matter any place in the world, we're always davening to this spot. That's why this spot, another name of Har Beit, is called Talpiot. Talpiot is not only a neighborhood, but Talpiot is from the Pasuk, Hamikdash David Tzavarech, Banui LeTalpiot. This is a pasuk from Shir Hashirim. What's Talpiot? Tel Shekol Hapiot Ponot Elav. This is a mountain of all the mouths, all the davening are faced to this place. So we want to change this. And Be'ezrat Hashem, that will have the Beit Hamikdash, and not the Dome of the Rock, and not the Al-Aqsa, and we'll hear the Levi'im, and we'll see the Shulchan Lechem Panim, and the menorah, and the Vodat Kohen Gadol Yom Kippur very, very soon. So thank you very much. Thank you very much.